and welcome back to my channel. My name is Sonam, and in today's video I'm going to share with you 10 ways to make a basic set of flashcards a more interactive and hands-on experience, not only for toddlers, but for school-age kids as well. If you would like these games at your fingertips, I have created a one-page downloadable resource that summarizes all these games along with game cards with directions that you can use with your child. So if you're interested in this free resource, please head to my store. The link will be in the description box below. The first activity is called Relay Race, and for this activity you will need 2 parts to any concept that you are studying. For example, I have these number cards as well as these magnetic numbers. We also use this with letter cards and a movable magnetic letter alphabet. You could also have, for older kids, a set of vocabulary words and the corresponding definition, corresponding part of speech. For math, you can use equations and the matching answers. For social studies, you could use important places or people and their notable achievements. Take your flashcards and lay them in a pile, and then take the other part of whatever you are studying and lay it out all over the floor in a large space. Have your student choose one of the flashcards and name what's on it, the vocabulary word, the equation, the letter, the number, etc. Then the student runs across the room and finds the corresponding matching piece, and then takes that piece and runs and drops it in a bucket. You can do this easily in a classroom with groups of students and make it into an interactive and competitive game. The next game is called Erase It, and for this game you will need a dry erase marker, a napkin, some flashcards, and a couple of windows. Get your child involved by having them write a few letters on the windows or numbers or vocabulary words with the dry erase marker. Then use your set of flashcards, flip them over, ask your child to identify what is on the flashcard, and then they run to the window, try to find the corresponding term or concept, and erase it. Then they come back and repeat that process. This game also encourages development of gross motor skills and fine motor skills, and I know Navina really enjoyed it. The next game is called Stick It. For this game, you will need some sticky notes, something to write with, and the flashcards. What I did is I wrote letters on the sticky notes and then posted the flashcards around the room. My daughter had to identify the letters that were on the sticky notes, grab them, and then stick them directly on the flashcard that she found around the room. Another way you could do this in a language arts classroom is by having the vocabulary words spread out around the room, and then you could tell students to write a sentence using that vocabulary word on the sticky note, and then they find the vocab word and stick their post-it on top of it. Similarly, for math, you could have all of your number cards around the room and then ask students to write equations using any operation you would like, maybe including parentheses and exponents, that would result in the corresponding answer, and then have them stick that onto the number card. This could also double as a great anchor chart after you're done, because you will have several student responses that correspond with each vocabulary word or each number concept. The next game is called Smack It, and for this game you will need a fly swatter and the flashcards that you're using. You simply put the flashcards up on a wall, call out the concept that you're studying, and students will go and smack the corresponding answer. If you have multiple students and multiple fly swatters, then they can play against each other. The next game is called Spray It. For this game, you will need a spray bottle filled with water, some paint, and some paper. Cut a regular size sheet of paper in half, and then review letters with your child. Have them assist you in painting the letters onto those little pieces of paper. This is a great activity to play outside, especially in the summer, because it involves water. Take those pieces of paper that you have painted on and tape them up outside. And then using your flashcards, have your child identify the alphabet and then find the corresponding piece of paper and spray it with their water bottle. If you're using paint in this case, then your child will see the colors run, and it's just really fun for them. The next game is called Match It, and for this you will need your flashcards along with random objects around the house. Place your flashcards on the ground and have your child find corresponding objects around the house that start with the same letter as the flashcard. So this works really great for beginning sounds, but you can also do it with numbers. For example, if you have a flashcard that says 3, your child can count to 3 and then find 3 tiny objects around the house to place on that flashcard to encourage that one-to-one correspondence. We did this with some animal puzzles Navina has. So for the letter G, for example, we have an animal puzzle that has a giraffe on it, and she would place that puzzle on this card. I call the next game Jump Jump, which is really great to play outside as well. The first thing that you need to do is use the chalk to write down all the concepts that you are studying outside on the pavement. So choose a couple of letters, a couple of numbers, or a few words that you are currently studying and write them outside. Then you flip over a flashcard and ask your child to identify what's on it, and they will jump to the matching answer on the pavement. This is great for kids who love jumping around. And if you wanted to add another element to it, they could jump using a pogo stick, or they could even use a tricycle to ride to the correct answer. The last activity is one of my favorites, and I call it ZippityDoodah because you are basically creating a zipline for your flashcards. For this activity, you will need some string, as well as some paper clips and binder clips. I have found that binder clips work a lot better. First, you will need to set up your zipline. You can set this up from any high to low point in your home. We set it up from Navina's basketball hoop all the way down to the leg of a chair. Once you have your zipline set up, you need to attach a binder clip or paper clip to a flashcard, and then with your child, read the flashcard and identify the letter name or the letter sound, and then place it on the zip line and let go, and watch how that card zips all the way down. If you want to, you can be at the high end of the zip line, let go, and have your child catch the card at the other end, and then announce the letter or letter sound that they have found. If you're doing this in a classroom, you can have partners set up the zip line and do this together as a race. So those are all the games that I have for you today. I hope they inspire you to go outside and have some fun with your kids while you learn as well. If you have any ideas for some games that you can play with flashcards, please let me know. I would love to hear them in the comment box below. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and follow me on Instagram at LiveThroughLiteracy. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.